To date, one of the most mysterious cases that the FBI has ever tried to solve would have to be the D.B. Cooper case. It is the only air piracy in history that has yet to be solved, and honestly, it doesn't look like it ever will be. I remember when I was younger, I was watching this show called Prison Break, and there was a character on there who was presented as D.B. Cooper, and it basically was a theory of what might have happened after this whole incident that he had. After that, I remember I did a bunch of research on him. I watched a bunch of videos on the History Channel, and those were so interesting to me, and it brought up something in me, and I wanted to keep on learning about him. For most people that have never heard of this guy, I bet you're wondering, who is he? How could he have outsmarted the FBI? And is he still being hunted today? Well, all these questions will be answered, and many more in the following minutes. To start off, in November 24th of 1971, on Northwest Airlines, a man boarded a plane by the alias of Dan Cooper. Witnesses say that he was 6 foot tall and was in a black suit. After being on the plane for roughly about 20 minutes or so, he handed the airline attendant a note. He said, "You better read that. I have a bomb." She then quickly looked down on his lap and evaluated the situation and realized that it was real. His demands on the paper was that he wanted $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck to fuel the plane after he landed. After about 3 hours of flying around, his demands were met and he finally landed. After he got everything, he released all the passengers and kept the flight crew and took off. Shortly after, he gave the pilot specific directions to land in Texas. He then locked them all in the cockpit of the plane, and shortly after, he parachuted out over the Pacific Northwest. Nobody on the crew knew, or the police knew, that he was gone until they landed in Texas and found out that he was not on the plane. He was never seen again. It's crazy to think that somebody could outsmart the FBI, and honestly, it's very impressive. Whenever he asked for 4 parachutes, he didn't want all 4. He wasn't planning on using them, but that's what the FBI thought. The FBI thought that he was going to start sending people over, just throwing them out, and that's why they were forced to not give him a dummy one. And honestly, I think it worked out pretty well, since his body was never found. They obviously didn't give him a dummy one, or else he would have been just like a fly on the window. To date, nobody knows what happened to him. There's a bunch of conspiracy theories about him fleeing to Mexico, but none of that's ever been proven. It's just all theories. The FBI had been chasing him for 45 years, and then in 2016, they officially decided to disband the whole case. Only evidence that they ever found on him was in 1980, they found a bunch of money with the serial numbers of the money that they gave him. It was inside a Colombian river, and honestly, this brought up more questions than it did answers. In the end, D.B. Cooper was just a man who hijacked a plane and outsmarted the FBI back in 1971, and no one knows what could have happened to him. It just boggles my mind that one man was able to do all of this. Thank you. All right, now I gotta show you a video. Hit the reverse button.
Oh, I think I got it. Maybe.
Did you?
This one?
Here, I'll shoot you. See? There we go.